This is K. Devendra Reddy, Assistant Professor in Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Here I am back with a new concept, that is calculation of voltage regulation of alternator by synchronous impedance method or EMF method. So before into the actual procedure how to calculate voltage regulation, let us we discuss what is the definition for voltage regulation and what is its importance while we calculating voltage regulation for an alternator. The the definition for voltage regulation or the alternator, it can be defined as change in voltage from no load to full load. Change in voltage from no load to full load is called as voltage regulation. And a percentage voltage regulation is equal to E naught minus V by V into 100, represents the change in voltage from no load to full load, or a terminal voltage changing from no load to full load. Ratio in terms of the percentage will give a percentage voltage regulation of alternator. There are different methods available to determine the voltage regulation of an alternator by both the direct ways as well as the indirect ways. So the first one is the direct method of calculating the voltage regulation, and synchronous impedance method or EMF method for calculating the voltage regulation, ampere turns method or MMF method. The fourth one is a zero power factor method, we can also call it as Portier triangle method. ASA method, we can also call it as American Standard Association method, or we can also call it as a modified form of MMF method. And the last one is a two reaction theory for calculating the voltage regulation of an alternator or a synchronous machine. So the first one, the direct loading method, the name itself indicates the synchronous generator or alternator is directly loaded, and by loading the alternator directly under different loading conditions, we can record all the values like a terminal voltage as well as the current flowing through the alternator, and according to that different terminal voltages we can easily calculate direct loading method. That is, in the circuit arrangement for direct loading method, a star connected alternator which is connected to a three-phase load, and this three-phase load is connected to the alternator with the help of TPST switch, that is triple pole single through, three poles triple pole single through switch. A triple pole single through switch is using to connect your load as well as the alternator three terminals, that is, let it be R, Y as well as the P. And the alternator field is excited by a DC supply, and it can be controlled or it can be varied with the help of a rheostat, and which is of a rheostat is connected in series with a field winding, and a measuring instrument called MC type ammeter is connected to measure the field current of the alternator. And similarly, an ammeter, this is of MI type alternator, MI type ammeter is connected in line with any of the phase to measure the current flowing through that phase, and a voltmeter which is of MI type, and it is connected between any of the two terminals to measure a line voltage of the alternator between the phases. And this alternator is connected to a prime mover. So when the prime mover is started with the help of any of the prime mover, it may be of a turbine, a steam turbine or a hydraulic turbine. So when it is started, or with it is also a DC motor as well, no problem. For testing point of view, I am connecting a DC motor which is mechanically coupled to the alternator, and I start the DC motor, that is called a prime mover, and obviously your generator is also starts rotating, and it is reaches to the maximum speed called the synchronous speed of the alternator. Once it reaches the maximum speed, then you have to switch on the excitation to the alternator by closing. This is a DPST switch, a double pole single through switch. A DPST switch is connected between a field winding and your DC supply. When alternator attains its rated speed, switch on the DC supply with the help of a DPST switch, and the excitation is given to the field winding which produce a main field flux. With the help of the rheostat, you can vary the current flowing through the excitation winding, that is called a field winding. So with the help of a rheostat, you can control the current into the excitation winding, that is called a field winding. So with the help of the rheostat, you can increase the excitation up to the generated voltage of the alternator reaches the maximum voltage, that is called a rated voltage. That is why a voltmeter is connected between the lines which measure the rated line voltage of the alternator. So you can adjust your excitation according to the rating of the alternator voltage rating. So adjust your field winding, and up to the rated winding, rated voltage, it has to be generated by the alternator. Once it will be uh, reach the rated terminal voltage across the no load terminals, that will be recorded by this voltmeter, MI type voltmeter. Then simply switch on a triple pole single through switch, that is TPST switch. Switch on TPST switch and note down the terminal voltage of the alternator under different loading conditions. Then at the instant of 1, you have to increase the load from 0 to maximum, and in each step increase the load in the steps, and in each step you have to record the terminal voltage of the alternator. So you can tabulate the readings, load versus load, and the terminal voltage VT under each step 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, in a 4 step you have to load the alternator. In each step you have to note down the voltage, terminal voltage of the alternator. Once you know the terminal voltage under different magnitude of loading conditions, then you can calculate voltage regulation of the alternator by simply E phase minus V phase by V phase into 100. So the case, the generated induced EMF is depending upon the flux. So according to the rating of the alternator, you have to set the rated voltage of the alternator. Then after, you can directly load the alternator by switching on the load which is connected to the alternator, and you can note down the readings, that is a terminal voltage across the load voltmeter, and you can calculate the percentage voltage regulation for different loading conditions or different load magnitudes of the alternator. This is one kind of the direct method where the alternator is directly loaded. We can also calculate in another way. There is a graphical method of calculating the voltage regulation. So for a higher rating, so for higher capacity alternators, the full this kind of arrangement, that is a loading arrangement, is very difficult. So the direct method of calculating the voltage regulation is not suitable, or it is not suggestible for higher capacity alternators. So hence this method is restricted only for small capacity alternators. The next one, the graphical method, the one of the graphical method for calculating the voltage regulation, that is called synchronous impedance or EMF method. To find out the voltage regulation by this method, we need the open circuit test data, as well as the short circuit test data, as well as the resistance of the armature windings. This test requires the open circuit test data, as well as the short circuit test data, and armature resistance per phase. So to find out the synchronous impedance, to find out the voltage regulation with the help of a synchronous impedance method, we have to draw open circuit characteristics curve and then short circuit characteristics curve, and from these curves only we can calculate the voltage regulation of the alternator. So let us look into the characteristics graphs. First of all, on y-axis you can take it as VOC per phase, open circuit voltage per phase. On x-axis, field current in ampere. Draw by conducting an open circuit test on alternator. Simply conduct to OC test, open circuit test, on the alternator without connecting any load. record different excitation values, field current with respect to the generated induced EMFs by alternator no load test, that is called open circuit test data. So from the open circuit data, you have a different field values along with the generated induced EMF values. You can draw a graph between induced EMF under no load condition, that is VOC per phase, with respect to the field current. You will get a OCC characteristics curve, open circuit characteristics. Next, conduct a short circuit test on the alternator, SC test. Conduct a short circuit test on alternator. So from the short circuit data, you can draw another curve called a short circuit test, short circuit characteristics curve, SCC, which is drawn between your armature current and field current. Your armature current and field current. So under short circuit test, the three terminals of the alternator will be shorted with the help of the ammeter that represents the ISC, and the field current required to circulate a rated current in the alternator is we can record with the help of the recording meters, and from these readings you can draw the short circuit characteristics curve, which is between IA and field current. So this is a graph we have, and open circuit test. From the open circuit characteristics test, we have a open circuit OCC curve, and from short circuit test we have a SCC curve. Then after, find out synchronous impedance ZS equal to, then after find out synchronous impedance ZS equal to VOC phase, VOC for phase by ISC phase, ISC, when IF is constant. That is, for the same value of the field current, calculate VOC phase as well as the ISC phase. So let us now mark it as, first of all, this is a field current required to circulate rated short circuit current in the alternator from the short circuit test data. This is ISC. ISC. And from this, extend this curve, this dotted line, this point by the dotted line onto the OCC curve. And from the intersection point of the OCC curve, we have to project it into the y-axis. And this point represents the VOC phase when IF is constant under short circuit test as well as the open circuit test. So this is in terms of ohms. ZS equal to VOC phase by ISC when IF is constant. Next. So once you know the ZS, already we mentioned, we required armature resistance of the alternator as well. You can use a multimeter, or else you can also conduct an experiment on the alternator, that is volt ampere, that is called DC resistance test on the alternator by supplying the DC, by connecting any of the two alternator terminals to the DC supply, by connecting a 1 voltmeter and ammeter. You can simply calculate the resistance of the armature windings by voltmeter ammeter method, and you can also use a multimeter to find out the armature resistance. Once you know the armature resistance, we know how to calculate the synchronous reactance of the alternator, that is XS equal to synchronous reactance of the alternator, which is equal to generally leakage reactance plus armature reactance equal to synchronous reactance. So XS equal to square root of impedance, already we know, that is synchronous impedance square minus armature resistance square. You will get synchronous reactance of the alternator in terms of the ohms. Once you know the impedance and you know the reactance of the alternator, then calculate synchronous reactance. After you'll get the synchronous reactance, calculate induced EMF per phase is equal to V phase cos phi plus IARA whole square plus V phase sin phi plus or minus IAXS whole square. Plus sign for lagging power factors and minus sign for leading power factors.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.